And welcome back, everybody. I'm back from the great state of Florida. Everybody's alive and well. And so how's everybody doing today? Jack, Gov, Dante, Red Hawk?
Doing well.
Got the gang all back. All right.
Yeah,
Look at this.
Luke's showing up soon.
Yeah, sooner.
This is going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
Now we just need Mish. Mish is
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
I'll hit Mish up real quick.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Everybody survived the hurricane. As far as I know, Gov, you kind of got a little bit of it right, and then Red Hawk, I know he got a little bit of it. Where I was at in Florida, it rained, but it wasn't bad at all. I know when we were on the cruise ship at night, there was a little bit of thunder off in the distance, but other than that, pretty much went right by. So yeah, man, good stuff.
Good. How about you, Gov? How's everything going there?
Going good. I didn't get hit by this hurricane, though. I got hit by Beryl a couple months back. But since moving up north to Dallas, I haven't had to worry about hurricanes nearly as much. So it's a new experience for me. When I see a hurricane coming, I go, oh, shoot. Oh, it's not going to hit me after all. But, yeah, I've been dealing with the move the past few weeks, past more like a month, really. Got everything moved over here, still slowly but surely settling down. And the new department I'm working in, same company and everything. It's much better, much more organized, and a fun atmosphere too. So everything's getting better and back to normal, if you will.
Good to hear.
I think Hawk was staying loaded up on top of the hill, watching everybody else get flooded, and he was like, "All right, guys, I'm waiting to hear the gun noise." But yeah, just like, "All right, you dare come up here?"
Yeah, pretty much.
His notch count's going to go up a lot. So,
Oh my gosh.
It's nice when you live in a place that doesn't have much diversity. You don't have to worry about looting. So, yeah.
Yeah, my last week was filled with quite a bit of diversity, if you will. And usually in the buffet lines, anytime there was a holdup, I hate to say it, every single time I'm like, fucking
Uh-oh. I know what that means.
On a scale of hippopotamus to elephant, how large was the
they would make elephants blush. Let's put it that way.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it was a good time though. I was on a carnival cruise, which I know everybody kind of makes fun of, but for the most part, it was pretty nice. We had a balcony room and sat on the balcony and watched the waves crash against the ship and went out there and drank a little bit. And there were some irritating things every here and there. I'd get annoyed when, once again, there's a hold up in the buffet or when somebody's acting like an asshole. People's kids sometimes like run up on you and you got to be careful not to knock the little shits over.
Mm-hmm. How many people are on these cruises generally? Because I've never done one of these. So
I want to say, I think they said there was like 4,800. I may be wrong on that.
Wow.
Yeah. And Dave, nice.
Dave, all right.
I recognize that game.
I found out the Avermedius counts as a camera. I was trying to figure out how to stream Zelda the other day, but for some reason it didn't work.
I've been playing they just came out with the Dead Rising Deluxe remaster, and I absolutely loved that game when it first came out. That was one of the first games that came out for Xbox 360, if I remember correctly. And my nose just has not left the screen ever since I got that game. I mean, of course, I went on vacation right after, but then as soon as I got back, I'm like, all right, so first thing I want to do is just play Dead Rising.
Yeah, after the relaxing after vacation, you're like, nah, it's time to play.
Yeah,
chuck in and play some video games. Oh shit, Gov's got the thing working. You can actually
I'm able to actually talk and not freeze up and have issues anymore. I'm so glad to have the first new computer in probably about 6 years or so. So it feels kind of nice.
You even got the Rodecaster mic.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I've had this one since probably around my birthday or so. I've had the mic. I got the whole arm, everything like that. I've even got the little volume mixer down here, everything. So yeah.
Holy shit, you're more pro than I am.
Dude,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying to
man.
get this. I've been trying to get this stuff to set me up so I can stream more often because this is my motivation right here. But then, needed a new computer. So that problem solved. And so everything should be solved now.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Nice.
Well, now that StreamYard kind of forces everybody into buying the more expensive program, which I'm not complaining. It's kind of nice to have 1080p because now you could see my bald shine in 1080p instead of just 720. But no, man, yeah, having like the nice equipment and everything, it's definitely a motivator. I remember when I first started podcasting it would have been October 2021. I had this shit like all sitting here ready to go for months. And I'm like, all right, I'm just going to schedule an interview and then just kind of go from there and haven't stopped since. I don't think I've missed a week in the entire time that I've done it. Since I was on vacation last week, I had 3 pre-recorded podcasts and just kind of let them go. And then, just kind of keep rolling. Or as I keep thinking about Tekken for pennies. Ryan's had chill a little bit.
Yes.
Your life sucks.
Your wife sucks. If I were in his position, I would. What was it? I would
Impoverish his entire
bloodline.
Impoverish his entire bloodline.
with
Yeah,
some
chill a
big
little You can't half do anything.
God, no, yeah, you can't half serve a prison sentence either. So that's.
Oh,
I mean, you can, but it's not going to end well.
that one deserves. Hold on. That one deserves.
Falcon punch.
I just watched that video again the other day. Was thinking about it, and I was like,
Oh, that will never not make me smile, especially because that's a dude rocking Sneeko shit. He's just sitting
Seriously.
there, yeah, chill. He's chilling a little bit, and then they kept saying "fuck you." They flipped his hat off, and he jumped, talked back, and bam, fucking nailed him, chipped his tooth and everything. So,
Oh, good. The Lord will provide. You just have to wait.
Man, the only thing that could have made it better is they just took off his whole head in the process.
If they deported him right away, like the punch sent him back to whence he came. But can't have it all.
It's unfortunate that fucking loser went to Haiti to show us all how the worst country on the planet is actually a seat of fantastic and lovely people. I wish he would have gotten eaten over there. And
that would have been nice.
Anymore.
That would have been
Yeah.
nice. By the way, don't mind the private chat when I'm sharing it. Yes, Gov, I found the site. I knew you got
found
it.
where I got this from.
Yeah, I'm like, where did he get that from? And I'm like, holy shit.
So I got it from a convention that I went to over here. It was the WeebCon convention. Nuke went there too, and so he could tell you all
I'm
about
not
it.
the
too.
only
They have
one.
yeah, exactly.
Hello, man.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Not to mention that anime is great too. I mean, it's a great workout motivator. Same with the manga; it's good.
I'm sure.
I mean, say whatever you want. Hot chicks are a good motivator. It's like, damn, I need to work my shoulders. God damn it.
Better believe it.
Oh,
Especially when they can lift more than you can. Jeez.
This
I
may be
don't
apocryphal, but didn't they like do a study? Like if a chick is sitting on your crotch while you're doing,
bench.
you
You can
actually
bench more.
increases. Yeah. No. It might be apocryphal, but I believe it.
I mean, I don't know. I can't remember. I did have a girlfriend once who wanted to do it, but she never came with me to the gym. So I can't say. I can't say.
my N of one is only thinking. I've taken women to work out with me a few times, but my wife came around the corner and kind of gave me a little, nod and like a thumbs up or something like that. And this is retarded, but I had 535 pounds. I never deadlifted it before. So sitting on the bar and I'm like, all right, I'm feeling good today. And she came by and I pulled that fucker right up. It wasn't easy, but I did it. So that's the only thing I could say.
It broke my back, but
I took the girl once to the gym, but we didn't. It wasn't anything. We didn't make it a date. We just she did her running thing. I did my lifting thing, and then when I was done, we were like, "You done? Yeah, let's go."
Yeah, that's how it
That
should
was
be
it.
done, to be honest.
It's like we have different goals anyway. She wants to get better at running. I wanted to get better at lifting. So we had a convenient time and we thought, why not spend time together, but doing our own thing.
how's your lifting going anyway?
I have to get back to it again. I got sick. I traveled. it's been crazy. But I have to get back to it again. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the gym is a good place to try to pick up women because, at least for me, whenever I've been at the gym, I'm generally pretty focused, and I don't think I've ever.
I'm like that as well. I'm like that as well. So I mean, I can't bother you, but I'm surrounded by them on the daily right now on my work. This is my work, being surrounded by.
I'm telling you, man, you got to get in on the personal trainer. Come on, Jack.
Yeah, so that way Jack could be the stereotype of the personal trainer. If your wife's seeing Jack, you're fucked.
Well, she is. I don't know about you, but hey.
Yeah, I did ask Jack if he got in on the fucking rotation. He said no. I'm like, well, it's probably
not at work. Oh hell no! I had to pull apart coworkers this past Friday. So it's like, okay, we're not doing that here. Oh, why are you so mad? It's like, we're not doing that here.
Pull apart?
Not on my fucking shift.
Pull apart. What are we talking about pulling apart here?
They were in the middle of the weight room, and they were sitting in each other's lap, getting cozy with each other. I'm like, look, I know you two got a thing, but we're not doing that here. Oh, why are you so angry about that? I'm like, we're not doing that here. This is a public space. Well, I was just about to drop my leggings. I'm like, there's no need for you to get snarky with me. You don't do that here. Got it? And all of a sudden, she looks like, whoa, she was taken aback by it. She's like, yes, like good. Because normally at work, I'm like pretty chill. Like, I don't care. I'm like,
and at that moment, she became attracted to you, Jack.
I think she did. I could see it in her eyes. Like, oh shit, he ain't fucking around no more.
And that's when Jack got put in rotation.
No, this one was 39, where I'm like, hell no. Yeah, no. Everything past 30 for me is a no-go. It's like back in the wild. Back in the wild with you. Even at 29, I'm kind of like, ooh, you better be very hot. You better be very hot. She's under 35, you sick fuck.
Yeah. That's Gov, that's amazing. I've seen that meme of yours take on a life of its own, and I've seen some really, really big accounts like using the same formula with, she's under 35, you sick fuck. So good work.
Well, I was gonna say I was not the originator of the entire meme. The whole thing was they would say, "Oh yeah, she's exactly 18 and 1 minute or something like that," is what they'd say. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna take it to the extreme because some people say, well, she's not 25, so the prefrontal cortex is not kicked in yet. And I thought, well, dang, she's not 35, so let's say 35 now. And that's when it took off. And I was like, okay, I'm really enjoying this now.
Yeah, using the prefrontal. The prefrontal cortex thing was probably one of my most viral tweets. I wish I had the exact thing off the top of my head, but I said women will go. That was probably my most viral one. I think that one got actually, I think the prefrontal cortex one got 250 million, or not 250 million, 250,000 impressions. I wish it was 250 million.
A little bit of a difference there.
Yeah,
those numbers are far too high.
Yeah. I've been playing around with the 35 meme that I have again lately, and it's now over, I think, 230,000. It was at 200,000 just 2 days ago, so it's coming back into circulation again. But nothing's gonna beat the one with the girl that fishes or whatever in the water and has their picture with her boyfriend in it that said, are y'all ready to move on yet? And it has like, I don't know, 2 or 3 million by now. And I'm like, I don't know why. All you did was say 4 or 5 words, and that was it. That's all it took.
Wait, is that Mewtwo on your mic?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, that is the original, like, from back in like junior high school or elementary school Mewtwo. Like,
it's like Dan Green.
This is like old Mewtwo. It's even got the copyright 99 on it right there. So yeah, I've kept this one a nice long time.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Speaking of 99, how about 96? I got 2 sealed.
Oh man,
I got 2 sealed.
I'm still wanting to get this graded.
Cheap. I got this cheap. I just saw this. Normally it's 400 euros. I got it way cheaper.
Oh, is that all?
No, I got it way cheaper than that. But no, I got 2 of these bad boys now. It's growing. It's growing. It's not the best financial decision I ever made, but hey, fuck it. I'm never gonna own a house anyway. So
I said the same thing with my Blastoise. I mean, I wish it was first edition, but I'm gonna try to get this graded because it's kind of minty looking. I thought that'd be a really nice thing.
I mean, even if you get a 9 on it, you're already in the green on that one.
Yeah, I think I spent like 110 on it or something like that when I got it from a store. So it's just cool anyway, because this was my old favorite back in the days, and it just looks sick right here. So
I mean, I would not mind pulling a Blastoise from those booster packs, but we all know what I'm for. We all know what we're hunting.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then PSA 9 goes for $486 on the normal Blastoise, not first edition.
Did you ever? There was that one that you were looking at. I can't remember what exactly it was, but the guy kept posting it back for 600.
Oh,
right?
the Scyther.
Yeah, that was it.
I think he's still doing the same stupid shit, where nobody responds to it, and he just keeps posting it in the hope that somebody will start that offering. Where it's like, no, people aren't going to do that. You're an idiot.
Oh yeah,
you're a moron. Nobody's going to care. I don't know if it's still up. I think it is. Let me check because I haven't checked anymore. He knows where to find me. So
my DMs are open. It doesn't matter when the prefrontal cortex develops from stripper. Girls still don't even use it at age 32. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely true.
Yeah, somebody said something in comments earlier that was actually a good point. It was like, they've got the same brain at 20 as they do at 30, so it doesn't really matter either way.
And there he is. What's up, Nuke?
Hey, somebody.
Yeah, I would like to stand side by side to Nuke, and I don't know if our cameras will show our complexion correctly, but I may be darker than Nuke now. So, like I said,
you are now the token brown guy. You can get away with a lot.
And let's be honest, Nuke just showered. It's not a fair comparison.
That one took me a second.
Oh my god, bro! I had to go there. Look at this, fellas. The boys are back in town.
Oh, we're all back. Oh god, let it begin. Let's see if we can get Kyle banned from YouTube.
Listen, I'm surprised I haven't been already. I've had probably 8 or 9 videos thrown off of YouTube, and some were just dumb shit too. The first one we talked about Epstein and Israel, and they said I was cyberbullying somebody. I'm like, you're cyberbullying a dead guy, and that gets you thrown off YouTube, gets you a strike. All right, whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Now, if you thought that Susan Wojcicki was bad, now we got Raja Mohan, Big Brahman is now in charge.
Funny you mentioned that, Red Hawk, because I went to Singapore recently, and I unfortunately I went in too late. I booked my hotel too late, so I could only get a hotel that was not in the best part of town. So Singapore is known for being very clean, very organized, very orderly. This part of town was not the Singapore that I know. And guess what the majority demographic is in that area?
I'm afraid to find out.
Oh no.
Yeah. So it's safe to say that I've experienced the Canadian
experience.
The
Canadian experience for a few days. And I did not enjoy it quite as much. Singapore is still an enjoyable city, but I spent most of my time in the Chinatown city center areas anyway. So there's that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, pandas aren't known to breed that often. They can help you with that. I heard they are very helpful in providing services when it comes to breeding.
There is Singapore is one of the few places where there's a panda nursery, where they there's an actual panda laboratory where they're trying to,
genetically modify pandas.
They get panda eggs, they get panda sperm. They actually have a proper, it's one of the conservation efforts. That's the Singapore Zoo is one of the places where it's at. So
they get panda eggs.
They're not dogs painted as pandas. They're not,
No.
That was so hilarious.
No. I've seen the pandas in Singapore. They're quite peaceful.
Yeah. The panda in China, right? That was a Chinese zoo. They painted the dog black and white.
Emu pandas or something.
It's kind of a metaphor for everything that China produces.
Yeah, honestly. Did you guys ever see videos of the red pandas?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when they get scared or feel intimidated, they stand up
Yeah.
But they're like super small.
Yeah, they're very cute animals.
They're
They are
cool.
very cute.
Yeah.
They were actually in the same. They put them in the. So it was a big domed area where they had the giant panda, but they had the red panda before that. So you got to see the red panda first, and as you're walking through the path, you end up with the giant panda at the end.
Oh.
The funny thing with those pandas, though, is they're not as playful as you see on videos. They're kind of sleepy. They're kind of lazy. They don't do much of anything, but they are cute to look at. So
I might be thinking about polar bears, but aren't pandas like aggressive towards humans? Because I remember hearing that polar bears would like if they're sniffing at like a tank or something, like in some zoos you may have like a course or something that you could like crawl underneath and look up at the pandas, or not pandas, I'm sorry, polar bears. They said like if the polar bears are sniffing there, it's because they're sniffing for you. Is it the same for pandas?
Pandas are actually, they eat bamboo. They don't eat people.
Okay.
They're not hostile. They're actually playful with humans, which is why they're fun to take care of. I've seen a polar bear IRL. They're huge. They're like maybe bigger than horses.
Yeah,
So,
they're the largest land carnivores on Earth.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they eat meat.
Yeah.
They eat, that's their main thing. They eat meat, and we're all meat. So polar bears are not, they're not easy. They're not easy to take care of. So
I know I told everybody in our group chat, but I went swimming with sharks, and I started to learn a little bit more. So like the black tip sharks that we were swimming with are very, very docile, and at most they get to be 150 pounds and then like 6.5 feet long. But like most of the ones that we were there swim with were probably like a little under 6 feet. But they mostly just kind of like swam underneath you. And when you first got in the water, I want to say it was maybe 50 feet deep. And the sharks were probably like 20 or 30 feet down. And then they would progressively come up as we were in the water longer and longer. And then once we finally, like, they told us, hey, come back to the ship, they fed them. So I was telling Jack about this. What I kind of interpreted that as is basically like the people who took us out for the ride were this is in the ocean. This wasn't any enclosure or anything like that. I think they kind of trained them like, hey, when you hear a bunch of splashing and see people in there, to be chill. And then as soon as everybody's out and there's no more splashing or anything like that, you're going to get fed. But they said like they couldn't do bull sharks because bull sharks are a little bit more unpredictable and aggressive.
Yeah, those things eat people.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there have only been, I think, like less than 50 recorded actual fatalities from bull sharks since 1998, if I remember correctly. And then black tip sharks have only, since 1959, have only killed 11 people. So generally, I was even surprised by that. Like I thought it would have been way more, but sharks are generally pretty, I don't want to say docile, but like they generally leave people alone unless you really fuck with them. Then okay, well, they may come after you. So when I was getting on the boat, I was asking the one guy, I'm like, so if you like splash around, I was told you're supposed to just not splash when you're near sharks. He's like, yeah, well, these sharks are pretty docile, but like if you were to get out and then jump back in, they may come up to you and investigate, and they may bite you.
Oh, okay. So it's more of a defense thing. They're scared of you, and they want to make sure you're okay. And if you act like prey, you will get eaten.
That's kind of how I took that. And like I said, my understanding is I'm guessing they probably have trained them enough to just know like, hey, this isn't food. So like as soon as we got out and everybody was on the ship, they started feeding them. And it was actually kind of crazy because they were just, swimming around, chilling, doing whatever. And then as soon as they threw the food in, I mean, it was like switched on, gone right from the fish that they were throwing in. But it was cool. I never actually saw that in person. Someone actually like feed a shark, but yeah, they were all over. They were like little fish there kind of eating too. But yeah, the sharks went fucking nuts.
Because they sound a lot like women, Think about it.
Smell blood in the water.
Yeah.
Those eyes, those dull eyes.
No, lifeless eyes. No, I saw that movie when I was 6 and I've never gotten over it. So
I have that with it. So
no.
They're tasty though.
Sharks?
Yeah, black tip shark's pretty good.
Really?
We'd never had it before.
No.
You just have to bleed them out properly and then like deep fry them. Shark nuggets.
That's brutal. It's such a Florida man thing to say.
I like how
Well, yeah, you do have to slit the throat and like let them bleed out.
I like, I like how I said that sharks were just like women, and Dave talks about cutting them open and
bleed them out.
Cut 'em out.
Only women indeed.
Wrong
Stick the rest in the freezer.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to grab them by the throat and just choke them a little bit. You know?
Choke her until she shits a little. You know.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, so the other thing that I kind of noticed on my cruise, and this kind of goes to today's topic. Well, actually, it wasn't on the cruise. No, it was on the cruise a couple times. We were walking around, and I always like to people watch whenever I'm on some kind of thing like that or in a public area. And I seen this all over the place. And there was always a woman posing, and then a couple feet away, there's a guy getting into position to take a picture everywhere. And I told Jack, or I don't know if I told Jack this or if it was in the general chat, but this is kind of fucked up. But there was a kid. She couldn't have been more than 5 years old. And she's taking a picture of like, it had to be her family, because I'm guessing people don't walk up to kids and say, hey, can you take a picture? But yeah, just all over the place. There were guys just happily taking pictures of their girlfriends. And I'm like, man, couldn't be me. Could not be me.
Yeah. It's one of those, I think it's one of those things that to borrow the cringe term, it's like once you get red pilled, you can't really turn it off. You tend to be a people watcher and just picking up on dynamics. It's one of those things you just can't turn off.
Your eyes have been opened.
And when, as soon as your girl then asks you like, do you want to take a photo of me? You go. As soon as your girl. You don't know anymore. Like, do I have to be in the front? Like, what am I? What am I to you? Am I a prop? You just take the damn picture and you make her happy. Like, here you go. Here you go.
Yeah. Plow horse.
Yeah. Yeah. It is interesting though. Like, you can see your boundaries like having an effect on your girl as time goes by. Like if she's like way more invested in posting on social media, starts posting less and less. I mean, you just have to accept the fact that, you're going to have to take some pictures at least, but if they're not going like completely overboard with it before, you're making an improvement.
Yeah, I think that's something to kind of look out for in the beginning. And every guy's tolerance of this is going to be a little bit different. And I think I might have told this the last time we were all together, but I had a friend that I work with, and he was asking me about his situation with his girl. He was talking about, oh, she's great, and then a couple weeks later, he's like, oh yeah, you explained to me kind of how everything would go, because he was like, oh, she was so hot and cold, and she always wanted to be with me, and she would argue with me, oh, you don't love me or this or that. And I'm like, if you can tolerate that, all right, man. But like for me, I could not tolerate a woman who's just anxious like that all the fucking time and constantly needs reassurance.
Neurotic.
Yeah, that's not my deal. I dated a girl who was like that, who always needed constant attention and validation, and not me, dude. I got way too much other shit to do than to fucking treat you as a child. Like,
I mean, as long as she wants it from me, I'm fine with it. But when she wants it from online, then we're gonna have a problem. Like, she needs to stream everything and whatever. It's like, no, not everything needs to be online. Not everybody needs to know everything. It's like, no, just no. But it's like Nuke once said, social media has done more to ruin women than porn did for men.
By a factor of 100 times.
Pretty much.
Yeah. If you jerk off, that's all that happens. You jerk off, and then
you feel ashamed.
Yeah, you may feel a little bit ashamed. You may not want to get stuff done, and you're just probably not gonna, be less productive as a human being. But if a girl has social media, it could extend her singleness to like 10 years out, simply because of the illusion of her having access to other guys and stuff like that. It's literally hundreds of times more consequential.
It is. You were right about that one. Like, just the validation alone, the seeking for a guy. It's like just that in and of itself is an entire live stream or a Substack article.
My only gripe with how social media might affect a prospect relationship is there's kind of a brain rot right now with the way like short form content, where everybody's watching the shit and the way they think and the way they talk, and like they have very short attention spans, and I don't know. It's been kind of a struggle for me to date people like that because it's you kind of have to be. Not, I wouldn't say have to be, but they're always looking for something new and something novel, and they're kind of impulsive, and they always want excitement, and you kind of have to reinforce to them that hey, being still and being relaxed and just letting the moment be is kind of important. So, uh, especially when you talk to younger girls, the brain rot is very apparent. They don't talk coherently. You can't have a. I mean, this is part of the angst of what the dating pool is like. They don't talk coherently. They have nothing interesting to say. So um, you just fuck him and move on, right? But uh, it does have an effect on people, and you have to be mindful of it. So, and it happens to us too. Like, God knows that I've watched so many videos when I was starting out, and it didn't do good on me. I had to unlearn what I learned.
Yeah, there could definitely be like that thing where it's like when you have a whole standard deviation higher in IQ than the chick, and you're on like the first day and she's talking about something, and all right, it's one thing if you don't know what she's talking about, like one thing, but then when it's like 3 different shifts and topics, and it's like, what the fuck are you mentioning? Like, no, I don't know what's going on TikTok. I don't even fucking have TikTok. Just be an artificial barrier for you.
There was a girl in the gym who was complaining about her education, and she said, I just want to do The Real World. I'm like, come again? She's like, yeah, The Real World by Andrew Tate. I don't need a degree. I'm just going to do that. I'm like,
you've been ruined by the internet.
It's over.
It's so over.
Yeah.
It's absolutely so over. But it tends to happen nowadays. You kind of, and like all of us are in our 30s, right? Well, okay,
I'll be 30
no.
in a month or two.
Almost. Okay, late 20s, almost 30s. Like, if you want to date the younger gals, you're going to run into that so much. They're glued to their phone, their TikToks, or as Rob likes to say, their Tiki-Talks and stuff like that. It is funny, though, when they send you the stuff like, look, I found this funny thing. But, like, when they tell you about the trends that are going on, it's like, that just goes way over my head. Like, Nuke's better at that than I am, and than most of us. I've heard him talk about things where I'm like, wait, how do you know that? He's like, well, you got to keep up with what's going on.
Chesty's the best at that. Chesty knows every single meme and thing that's going on. And he says he surprises his daughters by knowing everything, knowing every trend. That's why he uses social media like Twitter for, just to keep up with the Joneses. It's fun. It's kind of funny. That's what I'm a father. I'm going to surprise my kids with every trend. They're going to be like, how did dad know that? What the heck?
Did he use the meme on us?
I could show my kids my collection of dank memes. Yeah.
Nice.
Exactly.
When
Yeah,
they're
just like-
of age, I will
When the
I will
family-
sit them down and then tell them.
Just push
Let
off
me tell
the-
you the story of Hawk Tuah. You know,
Yeah.
let me tell you what happened and why it became popular and why Aunt Haley has her own podcast.
Isn't that amazing how she's now like the 3rd most popular podcast in the world, and it's only because she said a kind thing about men.
Yeah. Well, I think that's mainly what the viral thing was, is that like she's a doofy looking mid who said something that was funny, and that guy's like, hell yeah, man.
Dude,
And then
I would
that's all
love to
talk.
take her out for a drink. I would have so much fun.
I would not. I don't. I just
Come on. Don't be a grouch.
Have you seen her talk, dude? It's just like, I'll see you at the bar, but I'm not gonna be tying my evening to you. I'll have a conversation with you, but
Come on now, you can't stay in that bullshit.
It goes to show you that one part of the relationship that in the future, for guys that date younger women, is that you're going to have to kind of coach her through social media usage, right? And when I say coach, I mean that very lightly. Like, she is going to present to you different things that are going to take advantage of the fact that she is a girl, like man versus bear, right? That kind of sucks is you come home from work or you come home from something and then your girl's like, hey, it's like the new would you love me if I was a worm? It's just like, hey, this bear versus man thing, blah blah blah, whatever. And I think John Fitch talks about it too, where like you have to constantly remind her that social media isn't real, it's just women talking. It's not really consequential in our relationship and all that. But yeah, it's part of the plow horse complex of things you got to deal with as a man is they want you to take them seriously, right? Like you cannot take women seriously. You can take your wife or girlfriend seriously when it's like a serious matter, like, hey, my tire blew out, can you come help me? Then yeah, you can take her seriously. And even then you can laugh on the phone and be like, haha, did you run over a rock or something? Coming to get you. But for the most part, let women have the little social media things. Let them be obsessed about Lana Del Rey and the alligator trainer husband and all that stuff. Because that's women have always been like that. They've always been into tabloids. They've always been into magazines and celebrities and all that stuff. I would say as long as she's doing her job in the relationship, I don't care. However, if she's going to post you on social media, and I can't stress this enough, have her check in with you prior to her posting something about you. Because I can tell you right now, the line between embarrassing you and showing you that she cares about you on social media is incredibly thin, right? I've seen it so many times. Yeah, like there was this post I saw from one of these trad hoes, right? And she was like, I lost my virginity, like describing the process of losing her virginity to her husband and how she didn't like it at first. And I was like, yo, like, you got to check in with your husband. Yeah, you got to check in with your husband. Because I can tell you right now, on a long enough timeline, if your brand is I'm married to this guy or I have a husband, on a long enough timeline, you will be embarrassed.
Boys.
You will be humiliated.
Hours.
I know. Oh no! The fox has the keys to the hen house. Let's go.
Yeah, he has to go check his wife's next post. He's like, God damn it! She's gonna post it. Run.
It's like shit. Girls have actually figured out like how to do. There's a way to do this now. So apparently, this is what people do. It's not what should be done, but this is what people do. They do what's called a soft launch first, where they'll like have an Instagram story where it's 2 drinks instead of 1 drink, or there's obviously a hand there somewhere, so people are going to ask, "Who's that? Who's that?" You know, and then after a few months of that, there's going to be a photo with the 2 of you or something like that. So you call that a soft launch and a hard launch. So there's a way girls think about these things, and they know how to do it. So if a girl doesn't know how to do it, it's kind of a tell.
Fair. But like the hard launch is the photo of you 2 together?
Like, yeah, you can see the 2 of you. It's clear that you're together and you're doing things together as a couple. Yeah. But you're not declaring to the world that you're together in any explicit way. It's just, hey, it's obvious that they're kind of intimate and they're at the circus or whatever. Yeah. So that's a hard launch.
I think we've all had one of these posts before on Twitter where like the guy says and proclaims loudly, "She finally allowed me to post her on my social media now," or something like that. God. It's like, fuck.
I do not post a woman on my social media until she posted me on hers. That's just
I just don't post on social media, period. Like I have like a private I just have like a private Instagram that I just use to look at photos of like family members and such, and then I got Twitter to post bangers. I mean, I don't need to be posting pictures and any of that shit.
My girl's not on my social media, not in my stories, not in my posts. If anybody's gonna meet my girl, it's gonna be in person. That's my rule.
No.
There he is. Did you check on
you
your
guys?
On what she posting?
Do you ever get that like light tug on your sack? Is it just me? There's my wife pulling my balls out of her purse.
I hate when that happens.
That's exactly what happened too. missed most of the conversation there for the last few minutes. My internet decided to shit the bed. Yeah, when it comes to my wife posting shit on social media, generally it's like occasionally selfie, or she'll post something with her dogs and just tag me in it. She really doesn't post all that much on social media. So like when I talk to other guys, because I mostly hang around in more like trad minded circles, I never ever tell people my antidote, or like, you know, say, oh, you need to look for a wife like this or that, because like you're never going to be in a situation like me. I'm never going to be in a situation like you. So I could tell you things to kind of look out for, behaviors, but at the end of the day, still a lot is going to depend on who you are. And if you're somebody that, you know, that's worth getting with. And then, you know, with most of these guys too, it's so annoying because like, they're like, oh yeah, I want my wife to stay at home and raise the kids and stuff like that. It's like, you realize like most women are just not going to want to do that. And they're definitely not going to want to do it with you. Like, and it's not knocking these guys, but it's just like, this is the world we live in. Most women just don't want that.
Do you really want that? Like, do you really want your wife to not do like there's this belief that it like peak masculinity is allowing your wife to not work and retire her. But for guys that have dated women that aren't busy, it can be rough. It can be a little they constantly ask you questions. They constantly like, if you don't want to hear about man versus bear or the next social media trend, a busy woman is pretty nice. It's like yeah, it's you'll like her more if she's busy. Trust me.
And even then, the man versus bear thing will come through.
Yeah, water cooler talk.
Right,
Water
busyness is not going to clean out 100% of germs, but kill 99.99% of them for sure.
So I like Serio's comment there. I have the closest trad relationship, and I obtained it by being a complete degenerate. And this is kind of what's frustrating about some of like the older guys who say, "Oh, well, I did all this, and now I have the perfect life, but you shouldn't do any of this. You should keep it zipped up." It's like, all right, well,
yeah. But in all honesty, can you imagine Matt Walsh spitting in his wife's mouth? I mean, they just look like they have the most boring.
Kind of hot. What is a woman?
Am I racist?
Bitch. Yeah.
Who said it was a wife?
Matt Walsh, he'd say.
Oh, pretend I'm Ryan Stone. Pretend I'm Ryan Stone, bitch.
Some YouTuber named Ryan Stone. Like, can you imagine? It's like, no, it's like they just seem so vanilla and boring. There's no passion. It's like missionary position for the sole purpose of procreation. It's like, what's like,
I'm gonna introduce a thought here.
Okay, here we go.
As a guy who I kind of was raised outside of the contiguous 48 states, and then I came to the United States. Like, I was born in Queens, and then I lived in Puerto Rico. My dad was stationed all over the world, and then I went to the United States, joined the military after too. I will say that from the outside looking in, American men kind of don't even know that they're plow horses to the women they marry, right? And they can't fathom it, and that's why I kind of recommend that if you're a young guy and you have the means and the time, right, and the lifestyle, go out to another country. It doesn't have to be the one that I say. It could be any, and just talk to women there, kind of, so you can at least get a perspective of how, right? It's like Patrice O'Neill. He would go out talk, like, don't go talk to hookers, right? I guess that's your thing, right? But he'd say like, hey, I understood how I'm supposed to be treated as a man, right? And then he comes back to the United States and said, I will do whatever it takes to get treated like these hookers treated me. I will learn game if I have to, whatever I have to do. And that kind of helps guys in their relationships, because a lot of guys don't even know that they're the plow horse. They're just like, yeah, of course my wife did sabotage my whole calendar for the weekend. I wanted to play video games with the boys, but she's like, build this fence. I'm like, but I'm tired. No, you said you were going to build this fence, so build this fence for my garden. And you're just like, okay. But like in Latin America,
it's their standard operating procedures to be a plow horse.
Yeah, but in Latin America, the wife does not. You come home, you sit on the couch on the weekend, and you tell your wife, "Hey, I'm not doing anything this weekend. I'm tired." And your wife will be like, "Yeah, you look tired, so I'm gonna leave you alone." And then,
Not
hey,
going to
are we gonna visit my mom? And you'd be like, no, okay, we'll tell her to come here. And I'm like, yeah, we'll tell her to come here. Then I'm not going anywhere. And tell her to cook for us. So it's just like that will help you kind of not become an alpha, not become better with women, but give you perspective on like what, right? Because a lot of guys get shocked with the way like guys that have game or have a relationship where they're, they're the man and she's the woman. And it's like he decides what he wants to do. They get shocked by that because it's not because it's bad, but because it's so different from the status quo. So like if you like Eastern European women, take a trip there, maybe talk to them, see how relationships go on a date with one or something or wherever. Like if you have the means and the time, if you're younger, right? So you can at least get that perspective. That way, when you come back to the United States, you're just like, wait a minute, I don't have to be this way. I don't have to be a like. There's women. This is not the norm, and that's what you want. That's a good. Or you could, you could just come to that conclusion yourself, but it's much more difficult.
It's a frame thing. It's like allowing yourself to say no. Or it's like allowing yourself to do what you want. Like, oh, my wife wants us to go to her mother. No, we're gonna stay here. But I want to see my mom. Well, then she can come over. I'm not moving. It's like it's that simple. Allow yourself to say no to anything she wants. We're going to IKEA. Like hell we are. It's like, nope. It's like, we need new furniture. You need new furniture. My couch is sitting just fine.
Yeah. Not to say that women overseas won't test you as well, right? But it's just the perspective and like what's expected of you as a man and what you're supposed to do on a the soft social contract is different. And that was one of my biggest issues when I was started dating American women, was that it's just they would constantly try to frame me as like their girlfriend instead of their boyfriend or their man, right? Like, hey, we should go hang out with my friends. I'm like, I just met you and I don't know your friends and we haven't even had sex yet. No thanks. Like that's, no thanks. So I don't know. It's just a thought.
Fair. You're not wrong.
Yeah, I think some of this stuff, and someone mentioned that I said it earlier, but it was kind of like setting your expectations right. And this is kind of why I always go back to like, but like, it's not always a bad thing that your best friend fucks the girl that you absolutely love, because it sets your expectations back to a reasonable level. So that way you don't pedestalize women, because like Nuke's kind of saying, women here in America treat us a certain way, whereas women back where he was from, look at men completely differently. Well, here we're generally looked at as like a commodity or someone that's going to once again be a plow horse. So when you see that, a woman has all these requirements or wants a certain stuff, remember that if you're in a certain position, the right guy at the right time, then they don't have any of those expectations upon you if you're that guy at that time.
Yeah. And it's hard. It's hard for like, because not only that, like, if you're married to a woman, like you have her mom, your mom, her mom, everyone, like the family is like, hey, I heard that you didn't build a fence for your wife. I heard that you're slacking as a husband. Like you have to deal with that. And it takes an incredible amount of frame to like tell people to fuck off. It's not like every guy talks about how easy it is. And I'm like, no, it's not, dude. No, it's not. At first, it's not something that you just wake up, you read it, Rollo Tomasi's Rational Male, you wake up and you just like, I'm going to tell everyone in my life to fuck off now. No, dude. You don't just go from point A to point B. It's a messy, painful road that has consequences. But it's your fault because from day one, you said, you just rolled over and let your wife do whatever she wanted to keep the peace. But sometimes keeping the peace is not worth it.
I think the other thing too is that guys have this expectation. Everyone goes through this, right? It's like again, to borrow a cringe term, like when you get red pilled, everyone wants to go out and red pill your friends, and of course, never ever works. People have to come and find this material on their own, but then that causes other problems in the future because you're going to have your relationship a certain way. For example, like in my Dungeons and Dragons group I have with like college friends and such, like I'll have a girl like just walk in, bring me something, like while I'm playing with like friends or something, and like we're on camera and everything, right? And everyone else like kind of looks a little weird, it's like, oh, why are you having this girl do this? You can't go and get it yourself. So you get like the weird looks from bunch of other men kind of deal to pull you back in. You know, it's like, what?
It's kind of funny that you mentioned that, because I was at a bar the other night picking up food, and my wife had texted me, said, "Hey, I really want this shirt from the Meghan Trainor concert." And it just came up in conversation. I'm like, "Oh yeah," my wife texted me and said she wanted a shirt. So I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead, go get whatever shirt you want." And like the people were like appalled that my wife asked me for permission to spend money. I'm like, "Well, yeah, I mean, it's just
I
the
remember.
way it is."
I remember Rolo telling that story when his wife called him, like, "Hey, you okay if I spend $100 on makeup?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And all his female coworkers lost their shit. It's like, "Your wife called you to spend money." It's like, what? Yeah, she was holding his credit card or something. I don't know the fine details of it, but he told that story multiple times. It's like, yeah, like if you have, I don't know if they had like a shared account or whatever, but in general, when you have a shared account, what's wrong with asking the other, like, "Hey, I'm gonna make a big expense on this. We got this covered." Yeah, sure, go ahead. It's like, but no, how dare a man have say over his own finances? Like, I'm a proponent of never put your finances together. Just never. Mitch!
There he is. I kind of miss the old picture, though. I got to be honest. I do like the name, though. In-house goat shagging specialist.
I mean, your women are ugly, but they're not goats, man. Goats are prettier.
Can you hear me now?
Nice. Now we can hear you.
He sounds like
there's a weird Zionist vibe coming off the there's a weird echo though.
Just give me a second.
He sounds like, what do you call that? What do you call that hologram in Star Wars? If it malfunctioned, it would sound like that.
Yeah.
It does kind of sound like that, Dante. Yeah.
Oh my God! Just like check the private chat. Imagine walking down the streets wearing this. Holy shit!
Nice.
Gov, I dare you.
Oh shit!
Oh
man, I totally rock this.
Man.
So there's something that I really wish that they did.
Oh, Gov, it's you!
It's fucking Gov. It sounds like
Gov
sounds like a battle droid.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. He sounds like fucking
like an
Voltron.
Android. You sound like the abridged version of Android 19.
Take me to your leader.
Come on, robot. How about now?
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, okay. I guess I accidentally hit one of the effects buttons that I didn't even realize. This thing is touchscreen too. I was moving it around when I plugged it up to fix my mic.
Dude.
How's now? So everything good?
Yeah.
Wait, you guys just immediately went into blame the 9/11 doer.
Yeah, of course the third world.
For fuck's sake.
Of course we blame the third world of crappy internet.
Yeah, it's got that same effect that Rob does with his like demon voice sometimes, and so I put that on mine too. But thank
He
goodness I didn't
said,
do that.
"How?"
How? But that sweater right there, man, they don't sell that as a T-shirt, and I kind of wish they did. The same thing with. Oh wait, yeah, they do now. That's
I was gonna say, I saw it.
Yeah. Yeah, they only had it as a sweater. Same with this picture right here. This one right here, that would be cool. I like that one, but yeah.
Mecha kawaii.
Yeah, that would be. I will. You know what? Dare take it. Maybe I'll try. But
I'd love to wear that, dude. Like,
I love how the
$60.
sizes
never
go
mind.
to 3 times XL, where it's like,
Oh yeah. Nope.
No surprise there.
But you know what? Dare accepted. Maybe I'll try this.
Oh my God, the fresh milk one. Oh my God. Check the private.
They've definitely updated this. Let's see. I haven't even looked at this store in a while.
Oh man.
Have you been, Mish?
Wow.
Have you been, Mish?
I like it.
Been having some family drama.
Next time I go pick up some milk from a place like a farmer or something like that, I'm gonna wear that.
Wow. That's too bad, Habibi. It seems like war is going to break out any moment, so you have a lot of things to worry
It's
about.
World War III. Every single time military action ever happens, just ask Myron Gaines. World War III is imminent.
Yeah, well, in his case, it's World War
I don't think it's going to happen. Like
War every time.
what's going to happen? They just killed the Hamas guy. So what's going to happen? Like they killed. Did they like nuke some Iranian like leader a while back?
They killed Nasrallah, who is the leader of the Hezbollah army.
Yeah, they're not gonna do shit. Like they killed this. I think a couple of years ago, the Iranian guy, or like last year, was it?
There was they killed Qasem Soleimani back in 2020, and then
Yeah.
the
So
Hamas
what
leader
happened
a couple
then?
months ago. Nothing.
So, no, it's just bullshit, dude.
Yeah,
Nothing's
most of
gonna
those. My understanding is most of those people over there, like most of the militaries of Iran, wherever you're talking about over there, they're generally pretty restrained in what they do because I think they know that if they start to act up, then they don't want to fuck with the U.S. or Israel, who's generally going to pull on the U.S. to go do something.
Yeah, nothing is gonna happen, dude. Nothing is gonna change for you. Just live your life. Don't give a shit about these, third world goat fuckers.
Can we be careful with that one?
And there goes the monetization.
And there goes the monetization.
I like how everybody on the news is panicking for World War III coming, and then the guy like literally 3 countries over is like everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah, nothing is gonna happen. Like they kill people on daily basis. They nuke each other. With rockets on daily basis, and like people are just living their life there.
That's a
going to
relief.
work, they're fucking, they're partying. Nothing's gonna happen. Like you're all the way across the world, like 7,000 miles away, or like whatever it is. Nothing's gonna happen. Do you think Iran or the Hezbollah people are gonna come nuking the US? Like, dude, just release Marty on them. Like, he's gonna fuck everything that moves.
Yeah, I am conflicted though because like a lot of people say presidents don't matter, but I don't know what's gonna happen this election. But let's say they pull something sneaky and Kamala gets elected.
Dude, you guys had Trump. And nothing happened. Like if anything, Trump actually made things better. Like he went to North Korea. He made buddies with the guy from North Korea. What's the worst gonna happen?
It was close with the guy from China and Saudi as well, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Trump. I mean, look at the Democrats. When Kamala wins, it's like, I'll see you guys in Taiwan.
The spirit of Shinzo will save us.
The day Biden went into office, he closed that pipeline, right? I used to work across from where that pipeline ended, across the street. So there was the Valero, and then there was some kind of plant. I forgot what it was.
It was a Keystone one. They shut down
the Keystone pipeline.
Yeah, it's the biggest refinery in the United States. It was in Port Arthur, and I was working there at the time, where I had worked there prior, like 2 months prior. Then I got a job in Dallas, and then my gas doubled. In the price of 2 months, right? So it's just like, is it consequential? Is it not? I'm not sure, but I can tell you right now, all politics are gendered. Having a first female president, it's not about party, it's about gender. I think that's gonna be.
I called it a couple of months ago.
Yeah, it was just like with the 2016, with Obama, it was all about race instead, and
Oh yeah.
I don't know, dude. Nuke, like for example, over here, I would say like something that's been happening. For example, real estate. Okay, we're in the middle of the desert, so if I want to buy an apartment, I'm gonna have to pay somewhere between 300 to 400,000 USD. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a shit ton of money. I mean, like
Mish, did you see my sonogram to prove that I'm making money?
No,
Oh my God.
Oh, dude, fuck that guy. But like, okay, so the prices, went I don't know, like 300% in the past few years. Like you used to be able to own a house here for 100K because it's in the middle of the desert. So there's no reason to bump up the prices that way. But what happened? Did like a civil war break out? No, like people are still buying houses and they're buying more than ever. It's just taxes. The gas prices over here, like I used to fill my tank for, I don't know, like $4 a week or $3 a week. Now I'm filling my gas tank for like $30 maybe a week, close to sometimes 40, sometimes 50 if I'm just running on fumes. Are people complaining? Yes, but they're living and life goes on. They're paying the taxes that they have to pay.
Well, and this is why I don't think people always talk about Civil War, and Alex Patino made a good point, and I try to bring this up as much as possible too. People are too damn fat to actually fight a World War III, or too addicted to porn, video games, and too lazy to start a war. And honestly, that's true. Is that like people are way too comfortable? Like I was thinking about this on the cruise ship because of the hurricane and everything. They're like, okay, well, we're not going to be able to go into the port for 8 a.m. Everybody's supposed to be off the ship by like 8:30. I think it was delayed 5 hours, if I remember correctly. And they still provide food for everybody, but I'm like, okay, yeah, nobody's really going to care as long as like everybody's fed and everything's good. When people go hungry, that's when people start fucking shit up. If they can't sedate themselves, if they can't eat, people are really going to start to fuck shit up.
Look, I'll tell you something, and you guys are switched on and off and smart to connect the dots and realize how things are going. So you guys know that we had this issue with terrorists, and extremists, and basically, all right. So just to paint a picture, okay, why did we have these extremists and terrorists? Because of sexual frustration. These sheiks and all of these people were promising these dumbass incels that they're gonna get laid in the afterlife. So they strap on shit and go bomb themselves just for the sole reasons that they're gonna have the 72 wives in the afterlives. Okay. So how do you think we combated that? Literally, we put these extremists into the corporate life. They shaved their beards, okay, and they got busy with life. They started taking loans. They started living normally, and they started having everything that every normal guy has. So now we don't have any terrorists or extremists anymore. And I think you can connect the dots. So give people a purpose, give them something, like make them a plow horse, basically, and they're going to be too busy to think about the other shit.
Yeah, and that comes to our back to the topic, is that it's not only in your relationship. They want you to be a plow horse for your country, for society. And I'll say this, like society as a whole doesn't really care about me that much, right?
No.
They don't really. I'm not on their list of top 10 priorities, right? Because if they were, houses would be cheaper. It's literally that. It's like, hey, the ability for you to go out and have a family and live in a house, we make that a priority for you as a guy that's marrying age and all that stuff, to have kids. If we cared about, I'm like, nothing. All house prices do this, but they should be doing this, right? They're staying expensive. And I'm like, okay, well, then that's regardless of who's president, that's what's happening. The housing prices is too expensive for me to get a house, so you don't care, right? If society cared about me, they wouldn't be importing criminals to this country, right? Via the southern border. If society cared about me, we wouldn't be pouring my tax dollars into abortion and stuff like that. It doesn't matter how you think about it, right? But like, that's not men's health care. That's women's inability to use protection, to close their legs, to get on birth control, which is there's like 30 different kinds, or pull out methods, something, right? It's not about rights. It's about, hey, you're just too undisciplined. We keep babying women to the point where, like, if you make 4 mistakes in a row, which is having sex with the wrong guy, not using birth control, not using a condom, and not pulling out. That's 4 layers of things you can do to not have a kid. And then you have the kid, and then you're like, now, hey, give me tax money so I can, get rid of this kid, right? It's not even a morality thing. It's like a stupidity thing. We're letting people be slow, stupid.
You're enabling people's bad behavior.
Right. And that's my tax money, right? So if society really cared, it wouldn't be about rights. It's about, like, hey, ladies, like, you have the power to. It ends when you say it ends, right? Stop using my tax money. So I gotta look back and be like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna vote for Trump, duh. But at the same time, I'm not terribly excited, right? For this, to be a plow horse for this country. I was for 6 years, and it was rough. I did a lot of work for this country, and it was rough, right? And when I walked off that ship for the last time, I looked back and I'm like, what do I do now? I've always been in the service of the country. Like, I'm going to go home and falling asleep, even sleeping in, I felt guilty, right? Because my whole life I was like, I had to get up early and make, 4 a.m. to go to muster and get the ship the reactor ready for startups and stuff. So it's like, this is what happens to men, like when they finally leave like a relationship or the service of their country, they feel lost and empty, like a void. Like, what do I do now? Right. And guys need to understand, like, hey, yeah, you can be pro-America. It's great. Like, but I think the best way, and I think Hawks can agree with me, to be pro-America is going to like national parks, is assimilating into the culture, right? Is being clean. Like, you know, if you go to a neighborhood, don't trash it. Don't blast your music, right? All this stuff shows that you care more about America than saying that, you know, we should all band together and sacrifice our lives to defeat a common enemy. Like, no, the best way to do it is just don't be a burden on the tax system and appreciate this country for what it is. A lot of people died here for that. And go to a national park once in a while, you know, look at the beauty of the most beautiful country on earth and enjoy it.
And treat it like it's somewhere you want to stay.
Yeah, exactly. It's your backyard. That's what my dad did. My dad came here. He was an immigrant, and then within like 6 months, he's listening to Johnny Cash, the Beatles before they were soy. He learned English. he like didn't blast his music anymore. He was very clean. He cut his lawn all the time. Like he basically became an American veteran guy that just, you know, leave me the fuck alone. He got weapons, you know. He raised kids not to be criminals, you know, like that's the American way. But I guess, you know, I gotta pay tax dollars so people that don't give a fuck can maybe stop making bad decisions. Same thing with women, right? You gotta bust your ass for a gender that's like still thinks that you're taking advantage of them and you're tired, and you got to do the Forrest Gump moment where you're like, hey, I'm kind of tired, I'm gonna go home now. And everyone's like, wait, stop, what do you mean? It's just like, what do you mean? What I mean? I'm done. I want to live for myself now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You know, the funny thing, I was watching Forrest Gump yesterday with the family. Yeah, that's a funny thing. I have a story for that later. But look, I do agree with you, and keeping people as plow horses is just, you know, another way of controlling everyone. If you think about it, the trick is, like, what kind of plow horse do you want to be? Do you want to be a plow horse for your own self, for your own benefit, or do you want to be a plow horse for someone else? I think that's like the major difference between someone who's very switched on or not. You're gonna be a plow horse regardless, okay? Whether it's for your family, for your government, you know, for the career that you're doing, you're gonna be a plow horse regardless. But do you want to be a plow horse on your own terms or not?
Yeah.
I think everything requires work. Everything requires work, and it's interesting. Nuke is bringing this up as you know, your society hates you, for lack of a better word, as a man. A person who talks about this a great deal is Bronze Age Pervert. Talks about this in BAM, Bronze Age Mindset, and he's in the chapter where he's talking about the longhouse. This has kind of been memed to just like mean feminism, basically, but it's not quite what the term entirely encapsulates. It also encapsulates the fact that basically, like, the vitality and the vigor that men actually have is being used against their own interests. He brings up the example of ancient Greece, where the concept of democracy comes from their actual military cast of the phalanx. You know, you have guys standing in a row with spears and such, and this is where their political system comes from, because these guys actually have a say in how their society is functioned, because these are the guys who are literally out there conquering other nations. These are the guys who defended the borders. So, of course, these guys are going to have the most say in the system. In ancient Greece, you were required to serve in the military in order to have a position in office. You were required to be a landowner because you actually had a stake in the system. But nowadays, in all of our countries in the West, the people who have a say in the system are the people who actually don't have a stake in anything. You know, like, but why is it that, like, people who don't own property and have no stake in the system, don't serve in the military, are allowed to vote? Why is it that, like, if you just walk over the border the next day, they give you a right to vote? Why is it if you're a woman, you have the right to vote when you have no idea what it actually takes to, you know, hold up a country, a military system, or anything like this? So until, like, you know, things change where there's actually, like, incentives for people to get involved and incentives for people to have a say in the system who actually are the ones who are putting their lives on the line for it. Yeah, this is the biggest problem with mass democracy.
Yeah, there was a time. Yeah, I was gonna say there was a time that rights bared responsibilities as well.
Yeah. One thing that my dad said that one of you guys were talking earlier that kind of popped into my head. I remember him saying that sometimes when it comes to the dealership industry, you just got to go in, do your time, punch in and punch the fuck out. Don't go above and beyond. Just do what's expected of you, and that's it. Because really, if you start going above and beyond, then they expect that, right? And then for no additional benefit, at least in this perspective. So I think that's kind of one of the points that Nuke was getting at, is that like, hey, we kind of are instilled with this idea to be grandiose and going above and beyond in everything we do. But it's like, okay, well, what are you getting back in that respect? Is there anything for you?
And it sucks because for example, imagine you're like dating a girl and you kind of lean right, and she's like, yeah, I aborted our baby or something like that, right? How you're supposed to feel? Like, your country's policies allowed that, you made it very easy for her, encouraged her, right? So not that, there's other issues like intersexual dynamics. Maybe you're not attractive enough. There's issues there, right? But for a guy that doesn't know anything about that, what is he supposed to do, right? Is he supposed to be like, wow, my country's great? He's going to be like, what the fuck? He's going to be in shock. So how does he reconcile the fact that his every policy has to benefit women first and then maybe men? So he's going to have to make a choice, either become a doomer or realize like, hey, there's other ways in life I can enjoy this country besides it being 100% policy favoring me. So I'm going to live for myself, be incredibly selfish, and any girl that wants to come along for the ride will come. Not even girl, like family, friends, anyone that wants to come along for the ride will come along for the ride. If not, then it is what it is, and that's part of being your mental point of origin.
Steve McQueen,
being a plow horse is fun, yeah, sometimes, but you don't want to do it 24/7. Like if you're tired and your wife's like, "Hey, build my fence for my garden," and you're like, "No, I'm tired," trust me, it's gonna work for you in the long run, even though you might have to give up a wife for the time being.
Well, I mean, like I said, it's Steve McQueen. I live for myself and I answer to no one. Like, of course, every now and then you want to do something for somebody else, but you're not obligated to do it. That's where the whole plow horse mentality comes from. They feel obligated to do everything anybody asks of them. It's like, you're allowed to say no. And then they use shame and whatever. That's where all the other tactics come in. Like, yeah, be prepared to be shamed when you're getting selfish. Be prepared.
Exactly.
But it's okay to be selfish every now and then. You're such a lazy brat. It's like, yeah, you're right. What's your plan?
Well, and then shame only works if you accept basically the responsibilities that they're trying to put on you.
Yep.
Right.
That's an excellent point too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If someone makes a decision, if someone makes a decision, they should be liable for the consequences that comes out of this decision. Like, for example, now I've been having some, family issues, and it just aligns with the plow horse mentality thing. A certain family member made a decision that entailed that they might be going to jail because of that decision, and they reached out to me so I can be the good plow horse that will, basically get them out of that issue and pay for their, bad decision that they made. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. You're a grown-ass man who made a decision that could potentially lead you going to jail if you don't pay up that amount of money or what you're owed, and it's not my issue.
Yeah. Well, I love Ryan Stone's one part in I think it was his second book, where he said, single moms, or no, that was Fuck Files, where he said single moms are an awful situation. That's just not my problem. And that's something that I see a lot of guys kind of falling for, is that they look at single mom situations and they always feel like it's their obligation to take on all that responsibility and be the savior, be the guy. And you just really want to tell them. I mean, I've worked with countless guys like this who raise 2-3 kids that aren't theirs. It's like, that's not your problem. You can choose for it to be your problem.
Let's be honest here. Most guys date single moms for the juice boxes and the snack boxes. They just want free access. That's all they want.
Yeah. Well, maybe a
look at the
third
kid.
box.
I ate it all.
Yeah.
And fuck your mom.
It was me.
All the time. It was me.
I think the conclusion here can be best summed up is that everything in life requires work. It's kind of just like the male condition. It's like you're the one who actually has to go out and produce things in the world, and women are net takers as it relates to production. But the whole point of the whole thing is, what are you actually getting out of the work that you're putting in? Are you going to be putting in bonus hours at work for good boy points? It's like, no, bitch, I don't work for free, or the same thing with like what's going on in your relationship. It's like Nuke was bringing up earlier. Oh, I want to bring you around all my friends. It's like, well, we haven't even fucked yet, so no, we're not doing that. So it's like just getting the most out of what limited amount of time you have on this planet. Go get yours.
Yeah. I think ultimately is a guy's our biggest job. Or we have two jobs: to be competent and to get a compensated, to make sure we're compensated well for being competent, like satisfactory level of compensation for our competence, right? So if your girl wants to like take you to brunch, the BAP quote about brunch, right? Everyone knows that quote, right? Yeah, it's a little lame.
You're gay.
That's your girl, right? But what if she woke you up with a blowjob in the morning and brought you coffee in bed? I'd be like, you know what? I can do brunch for an hour or two. This girl like literally won't stop giving me blowjobs, right? And that's like that whole compensation, right? But if it's a girl that like you just built her a fence yesterday and she's like, you didn't build it right, then I'm like, no, then I'm not getting compensated for being here, like enough. Same thing with the job. Like there are guys that are workhorses that love to work, and okay, good. Those are the people that keep this country together. But make sure that you get paid well. That's all. Same thing with the relationship. Same thing with everything. If you're gonna go to the military, right? Make sure you use those benefits, because trust me, other people are bleeding this country dry for nothing. So you at least go to the VA, like go use your VA home loan, right? Go get that military discount at Denny's. Use that stuff, because there are people who are doing absolutely nothing and are entitled and want more. So that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, if they're giving the shit away, you might as well get yours. So like my wife's an EMT, so when we go out to eat or something like that, she'll never say it, but I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna grab that fucking discount, because there are horrible people out there fucking using that. So guess what? If I can get $2 off, I'm getting fucking $2 off. Let me read this super chat from Dark Knight Dev, the $5.01 super chat. Let me where is it? Sorry. Let me get there.
Falcon Punch!
Damn. Idea like manipulation. Make sure you get something in it for your benefit and realize people are going to do what they want anyways. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I need to learn to appreciate and enjoy blowjobs more. I don't know what it is. I'm not a huge fan of getting them where it's like, just give me the sex. You know?
Hey, you want to help him? Help him appreciate
I mean, you did go to an old boys school
to see what happened. See, look, what I did, I just did a cyber attack on Nuke right now. Took him out.
No, but I don't know what it is. But the thing is, though, with blowjobs, they're for her, not you. That's the weird thing I learned about BJs, where it's like, it's a psychological thing about women. Like, they need to give it to you, where it's like, you just, as a guy, accept it. It's a weird thing. It's a weird psychological thing with women and blowjobs, where it's like, I don't know. Not the biggest.
You thought a lot about this, haven't you?
Yeah, because like it's like I like it. They feel nice and all that, but it's like I just prefer the act of sex better than a blowjob. I kind of feel like blowjob is a way for them to get out of sex.
Is that
you're not getting out of this one.
Do you say it like that while they're doing it to you, man?
No, do you say it? So look, Jack, the thing with the blowjob is they enjoy giving it to you, and they enjoy seeing your face. Like they feel a little bit more in control. Like I'm gonna make him, come, and I'm gonna make him, twirl, and all of that stuff that comes with a blowjob. It's you're doing it for them too. Just it's like when a woman fakes orgasm, just fake enjoying a blowjob. You're doing it for her.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean,
I'm being so selfish, Jack. Enjoy the blowjob.
I know. It's like you're driving your car, and all of a sudden, like, can I suck your dick? You have to.
I mean, sometimes you must,
be, a good plow horse and just enjoy it.
Yeah, fair. Okay. I'll enjoy it then.
She's like, if you say so.
I'm gonna complain the whole time. No teeth. No teeth.
Yeah, the teeth part is the fucking worst. As soon as you feel, you're like, oh, well, that fucking thing.
I have
not with that attitude. You gotta take. It's like eating wings with bones in. You gotta enjoy the hard parts.
You gotta hot Tua and spit on that thing.
No, it's like
now
once
you know you do
hard part, you're done.
You know,
Big trust
I think
issues.
to a
BJ
girl-
Substack article when. God,
Yeah.
God damn it. I'll think about it. You gotta learn to appreciate it. I needed to learn as well.
Yeah.
No, but it just feels like a cheap trick to get out of sex sometimes, where it's like, no, you bend over, open wide, spread them. I have a mouth.
Yeah.
I'll use it.
I think the best is normally when they're kind of like you guys were saying, is enthusiastically willing to give it. Like I remember I met this girl for the first time, and me and my buddy came down to we went down to Pittsburgh. To go meet
I like where the story's going.
It's just me, I promise. There's some other context in the story that was really funny, but you know, we were fucking drinking and everything, and then we went back to her apartment.
Oh, okay. This is getting.
We went back to her.
Because there was two people. Oh, Jesus. Anyways, so me and this girl go upstairs, and the first thing she does is write down. And I was like, okay, cool, all right,
This
I'll
is
take
happening.
it. And then the other girl that was there, who was downstairs with my buddy, he was this goofy dude, but he was really funny. And apparently he was dropping like a hard R in front of her, and all she did was fuck like D1 athletes who are openly black in Pittsburgh. And he dropped a hard R in front of her, and she just like never looked at him at the same. But I was busy plowing the shit out of her upstairs.
Yeah, that's just guys stepping on their own dick, man.
Wait, was that Garrett Gaines?
No, Garrett was probably like fucking 10 years old at this point. This was a while ago. Yeah, he would have
hard
been.
R.
His mom.
So glad that fucking retard is gone. I don't just see him.
Oh, is he finally gone?
anymore. They got banned. Thank God.
Oh,
No, they always come back, dude. Like whenever they run out of money and they want to just get a quick cash grab, so they just come back to this space and talk about dicks.
Yeah. Well, he said, he said, yeah, I moved on from the red pill. I did Rolo show, and then now I there's some things I disagree with on the red pill. So now I'm just going to say the R word. I'm going to
that's right. You and I were on that same fucking show together. Oh my.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are as right wing as me, but I want to ban race mixing. I'm like, seriously?
Like, you could be making more money selling steroids and all that fitness shit than the red pill. Honestly,
Yeah, but Mish, that requires work, man. Come on.
yeah.
Dude, honestly, people, if they just think about it a little bit, like there's a niche that you can carve in the fitness industry. Just there's no good fitness instructors. Like Jack is one of the few good guys who actually knows what he's doing. And the internet is full of stupid people just giving shitty fitness.
Hey, but he did buy Ryan's book.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Didn't fucking read it, apparently, dumbass.
Yeah.
No, what was the argument? He's just young. It's like, oh fuck.
Uh,
If you're old enough to use that amount of roids, you're old enough to read a book.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that was me. That said that. Oh, I said he was young, but then I'm just like,
No, you weren't the only one. You weren't the only
Yeah, I was
one who said it.
like
I did
21,
it too.
22. Yeah, it
Yeah, he's-
happens.
You two weren't the only one. There's somebody else who said it.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Dad.
I own up to that one. I own up to that one.
Yeah, he said, oh, yeah, he really fell off. No, I think the signs were kind of obvious.
Misha called it.
Yeah,
Somebody
Mish
owes me
definitely called
20
it.
bucks.
I'm former military. I kind of work with young retards. They get married at like 21. So I was just like, you're a retard for doing that. But hey, you're 21. Of course you're going to do retard stuff. So I kind of have a soft spot. But I am learning my lesson. I am learning my lesson.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
21?
some guys just can't help but fucking step all over their own fucking dick. I'm thinking of a guy I used to work with who fucking he's in his 60s now, and yeah, he fucking got fired from his job because he couldn't stop finger banging his fucking girlfriend in the parking lot. So yeah, I guess if you can't fucking control it, then I guess you end up finger blasting a bitch in an SRX and you end up unemployed.
That's life, That's life. That's what are you gonna do, You can't finger blast girls in parking lots. Your job. I thought you would learn. You would know that. Like I thought it was like basic knowledge, but here I am, surprised yet again.
Yeah, and don't dip your finger in the company ink, dude. For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I remember some of my coworkers trying to set up another coworker with a girl, and I'm like, man, I don't know. You don't shitting where you eat.
Yeah, like the current economy and people just fighting over jobs. Like, why would you risk giving anyone anything to hold against you just to get you fired, dude? Like literally,
exactly.
Yeah, that's I've told people that before. I'm like, I'll fucking burn my brand to the ground before I let anybody have a fucking inch over me. Like, it ain't fucking worth it. I already lost a job over this shit. Not lost, but I didn't get a job that I was supposed to get over this shit. So guess what? I got nothing left to fucking lose, man. Go ahead, find my address and everything. I'm good, man.
Dude, I've been honest about where I live. Fuck you people. I live under a bridge. What are you gonna take from me? Like the dirt? Go ahead. Do it. Do it. I challenge you to eat my dirt.
I live with goats. I dare you to find me. I will fuck you like I fuck the goats.
Exactly. I mean, go find me. She'll bomb the fuck out of you.
Oh yeah. And then I will fuck you like I fuck my goats.
You should dare them how you fuck them like you're women. That's way worse.
Oh yeah, dude.
Is that a promise, Mish? Do you promise?
At least I'm gentle with my goats, dude. They give me milk and good meat.
Fair. But do they give good blowjobs?
There's a lot of teeth involved, so.
Oh god. I smacked a girl once for that.
I guess you could say they're pretty bad.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
You guys are very horrible.
No, you didn't.
Don't talk about my goats like that.
You didn't. Oh my god. Oh no, that's worse than Gov's way joke. Oh no.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
I still
God.
make that joke now.
Oh, that's way too dad joke.
So the joke was Jack was talking about healthy foods and whatnot, and was saying that whey protein would be more expensive, and I said whey protein will set your wallet way back more than Whole Foods ever would.
All right.
And with that, we cue the music.
And that, yeah, with that, he closed out the stream. So yeah, that's the best.
Wait, what? I don't get it.
Whey.
Sorry.
Way too expensive. WHEI.
Whey protein is more expensive.
Whey protein sets your wallet way back.
Oh, I'm beginning Nuke might have to go back now. Fuck.
I've got the clip. I'll send it to you. You just have to see his face. It's great.
It's like,
yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm coffee, dude.
Yeah, in my own
Nuke's
head.
gone in his head where it's like goats and blowjobs, and it's like it's way too distracted.
Naturally,
attention to us.
Yeah,
the Mexican was surprised by the goat fucking, dude.
I kind of lifted that bad joke from somebody else. We used to work with a guy who we always used to joke that his neighbors had goats and that he was porking them. And I remember one of the dudes I used to work with, he's like, yeah, then he goes on and grabs some goat horns and says he's been a bad boy.
Oh my God.
It was so funny because at the time he was like 65. A little like 5'4", 65-year-old dude with a lisp. He's like, "You stupid semen fucking motherfucker!" Oh, dude, it was great.
Daffy Duck was his name.
Yeah. He was like one of the nicest dudes in the world. But just to get him all fucked off, he'd start swearing. He'd just, "You stupid semen fucking motherfucker."
That's like, is that Sylvester or Daffy Duck?
It was Daffy Duck.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah,
Both could do
Oh
that.
yeah, Sylvester has a pretty hard lisp as well.
Yeah.
Look at us bonding over Looney Tunes and making fun of the child who lisps. We did that too. We did that so much. I remember we called a kid gay, and then he went to the teacher, and the teacher had a whole PSA meeting about, well, you're not allowed to call anybody about you're not allowed to make fun about anybody about their sexual orientation. Not saying that is their sexual orientation, but if it was, you're not allowed to make fun of it, and you're not allowed to make fun of it in general. It just got worse. It went from gay to homo. It's just, all right, we're putting this putting it up to 9 now. Don't make us put it up to 10.
I had a coworker, have a coworker who I kept calling autistic, And I remember he kind of fired back the one day, and this was like a subtle admission that he was autistic. And he's like, I wish you had something wrong with you that I could make fun of that you couldn't help. Like if you're in a wheelchair, I'd say, what's up, wheels? And ever since then, we just continually fucking rip on him for it. I'm like, he was subtly admitting that he's autistic. I'm like, I don't care, but it's just funny because like if you knew this dude, he's fucking autistic. And hey, man, that's all right.
I did.
Being autistic is
I
fine,
once
dude,
in
but-
community college, I did have a guy in my class who was in a wheelchair. Funniest motherfucker you'll ever meet.
Oh, dude,
Did
that
not
fucking
give a
sandwiches.
crap. Did not give a crap at all. Where you were walking in front of him and you were too slow for his take. He's like, what? You're doing that on purpose because I'm in a wheelchair and I can't walk past by you? Huh, motherfucker? He just throw that shade at you. It's like, whoa. Hello. Great guy.
Yeah.
Great
Then
guy.
you get the Karens defending them, dude. Like, special needs people are fine with their disabilities.
Yeah, I mean, just look at Nuke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, being brown is a disability. It's ability to fuck your mama. Oh,
I'm finding
I
out.
did not hear that from Red Hawk. That is a
Wow. Red Hawk, he beat you to it.
yeah.
I mean, my IQ is like our average IQ is like 90, I think.
Wasn't it 85?
Wasn't it 83? No, it's 83. Hold on, let me look it up. Average
Depends,
Dominican IQ.
it depends on where you're.
I'm surprised Google will give you this information. I thought they were.
Yeah.
Enough to.
I'll just wait till
follow-
Kamala becomes president. All of that information will be gone.
Enough
Oh,
to
man.
follow instructions, but not enough to follow. Not enough to follow laws. So.
Huh.
Yeah, we're 82. We're the same as India.
Nice.
No.
The Netherlands,
Well,
the
like
Netherlands
each other.
average IQ. The Netherlands average IQ is 100.74. What a shame that Jack's about 10 points below the mean.
Yeah, Jack fucking fell short.
Aw.
Yeah, Jack's
Do you
is a
not-
special case of the Netherlands.
That's pretty high.
Yeah,
for,
Yeah, that's pretty high, actually.
Yeah, for an average,
It is.
that's pretty high.
Yeah.
Bow,
yeah,
you shit.
Finland. Yeah,
Bow for your
Finland.
European overlords.
Finland's
Saudi is
101.
84.
What's Saudi?
Saudi is what?
84.
Wow. Explains a lot. Explains why we can't land airplanes, dude. Fuck. Jesus, man.
What's
That's
the
all the
Philippines?
issue. Like, we're not really terrorists. We're just too dumb to know how to land the plane.
Aw. We just didn't know how to ask
Taking
for
off.
permission.
Taking off is the easy part. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
We didn't want to hide
This
that.
9/11 thing was just a big misunderstanding. It's like fucking retarded people on an airplane.
Yeah, we didn't want to hijack the plane. We didn't know how to
Yeah.
ask for permission. What's the average IQ in the Philippines? We need to
Oh
know.
boy.
It's got to be high.
86. 86.
No,
Oh, Jesus,
that
dude.
sounds about right.
Okay, now which one
Yeah.
is America? Because then we can finally put this to rest.
America's like 97 or
America's
And
fine.
what was the Netherlands again?
107.
98,
I can't hear
Oh,
you.
yeah.
which is
okay.
pretty impressive. We're in the top like 30, I think. The US is top
So-
20, top 30.
So for the US, did they account for all the other races, or is it just
Yeah,
like
that's
black people?
that'd be why it's so much
Yeah.
lower.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm on worldpopulationreview.com and it says Japan has the highest at 106.48, Taiwan 106.47, Singapore is 105, Hong Kong 105, China 104, South Korea 102, Belarus 101, Finland 101, Liechtenstein 101, and Germany 100.
You're behind Germany. Damn it. Well, we're actually we're tied with Germany. We're tied
Well,
with Germany.
you know, gotta respect those German engineers. You know.
I mean, even Archer's afraid of him.
They're really good at following instructions to a fault, maybe. But they're good at it.
Appalled.
It's awesome.
No, after we discovered that everyone is retarded to an extent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
Wonder what stereotypically retarded things do Dominicans do? We have second families a lot. That's pretty not
Really?
smart.
I think that's pretty
Yeah.
smart. Like having one family is hard enough. You have two? Jeez.
That's a contingency plan, dude. That's not retardation. Like what if the first family just decides to end themselves, or they just die? So you have another
Yeah,
family.
but as a poor man, that's not a smart thing to do because now you're raising two poor families instead of a medium class family.
No,
What
dude,
mean-
It's a risk that you have to take.
two families as a poor man? Jesus. How smart do you have
I like
to
how
be
the
to
other
do
brown
that?
people are just like What are you talking about, dude? That's great.
That is actually very smart. Not one family, but two.
We blast music really loud. That's a low IQ behavior. Blasting
Yeah,
music
there
really
was
loud.
there was a video of the dude in a guy who like fixes cars in Springfield, Ohio, mentioning the Haitians there, and he said that there was one sitting outside of a house, laying on the horn for like 5 minutes straight until somebody literally went up and said, "Stop doing that," because he was trying to get the people, and there were like a dozen people in this house. He was trying to get their attention to come out, and he didn't even go up and knock on the door. He just laid on the horn for like minutes straight. It's like you would think after like like a brief honk or something like that, most normal people would just be like, "Oh yeah, hey, somebody's outside." But then
I know why the ceiling bird chirps. Yeah.
There was a who the fuck sent a video? It was in one of my group chats. They sent a video over somebody. Oh yeah, it was a lady who had a gun. And this lady was complaining about this dude playing music for like hours and hours on end. And right at the beginning of the video was the fucking chirp. I'm like, oh, of course. So one of my favorite things to do is if my friends or if my coworkers start playing rap music all day, I'll turn on a bunch of different chirps because I say they're playing chirp music.
It's amazing. We've got the ceiling bird chirp as one of the sound effects on the soundboard for the Thursday Pony Express radio streams. So when we cover a story, it's just beep.
I'm not surprised.
Well, I mean, that's why pit bulls are such vicious creatures, you know.
Oh, yeah, you'd be driven insane too.
I'm not surprised though that the Philippines is at 84, 85. What was it?
Yeah,
84, 85. We elected another Marcos. It's like, look, he killed. Like, look, he basically put the country to its knees for a decade, and then like a few decades they were like, let's do it again.
Hold on.
Didn't work the first time. Let's try it again.
If being brown is a disability and being black is a jail sentence, you guys are all right for some plantation owners?
Falcon punch.
Oh man.
Duke might be able to fact check me on this one, but isn't like the absolute minimum IQ to entry for the U.S. military 85? Like they literally cannot have like any other tasks for you. They've deemed it like you're too stupid to do tasks.
I've heard that.
I know the ASVAB score is like 30. Below that, you're just like you're functionally unable to serve in the military. But ASVAB, I know Cappy doesn't agree with me, but ASVAB I don't think correlates with IQ. It's very loosely correlated, right? Because I got a really high ASVAB score, but I struggled in college with calculus.
It's probably certain like aspects of where you max out in, because I know there's like spatial recognition or whatever it is.
Yeah, basically an IQ test basically is just pattern recognition is essentially what it is.
Yeah, I thought it was pattern recognition, then also like your ability to think abstractly.
Yeah, it's like I mean, it's a meme, but it's a meme for a reason. It's like the breakfast question and the apple question. You know, did you have breakfast?
Yeah, there's no longer an IQ minimum for the military. It's an ASVAB minimum, and the ASVAB minimum is 31.
So what is the what was that test you said? ASVAB?
Yeah.
ASVAB,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery. That's what it stands for.
That? So what is that test?
Like I think like Kyle was saying, it's like it tests your spatial awareness, ability to solve problem solving, memorization, reading comprehension, stuff like that.
Okay, so basically, your ability to have a job.
Yeah, it's like you know those standardized tests we have to take like an SAT. It's almost like an SAT.
Okay.
Almost.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
sort of like that. But faster, more faster pace, and more like watered down, kind of like nuts and bolts of like.
Because I get it. You don't need to abstract in the military. You know that I'd imagine they'd rather you don't, and just focus on the problem in front of you and follow orders. So.
Yeah, they want you to parse out important information out of like a paragraph. They want you to solve problems quickly. and they want you. Something that I took also. I don't know if it was because I was new or it was just new. Is they give you like a lot of numbers and there's a little bit of time, and they say, hey, choose what's different about this, this page, right? They want you to be able to notice differences and stuff. So like if you're staring at a panel with lots of lights and alarms, if one light goes red, they want you to be able to like pick up on that red light really fast and be able to take action if you need to. So I guess it just tests like, awareness, spatial awareness and stuff like that.
I remember reading somewhere one of the huge differences between how Western militaries are structured and militaries in the Middle East is like an actual officer structure. One of the issues that you have in a lot of these like Middle Eastern militaries is that they basically just have a general, and the general doesn't tell anybody else like what is going on because he's afraid he's going to get whacked, by his like subsidiaries. So like when you take out command and control, the whole thing just falls apart. As opposed to like Western style militaries, there's a strict officer structure, and what the hell, chain of command. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
Basically a hierarchy.
Yeah.
And you know exactly how much authority you have too. Like I'm assuming in other militaries, like you're constantly you don't understand how much authority you have. Where in the U.S. military, you just like who you can yell at, who you can tell to fuck off, and who you have to like literally, stay the fuck out of their conversation. It's pretty obvious.
Well, I guess speaking of retards, at least we were earlier. Why don't we all kind of give our plugs and wrap this shindig up? We'll start with Dave down in the bottom right corner.
Scarred Thumb podcast every Sunday. This one today was talking about Echoes of Wisdom. Pretty fun. Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, everyone go listen to Scarred Thumb. It's a really fun video game podcast, and it's not run by a bunch of like homos that are constantly shilling like NordVPN or Rival Z or some bullshit.
So, guys, VPN is a great service that will.
yeah. So everyone go listen to Dave.
Nuke.
Just new Substack, and I'm almost 15K on Twitter. So thank you.
Nice. Gup.
Not much to say here. My Twitter plug is right down there. I'm going to be renaming my YouTube, and I have a Substack started, so I should have some new stuff coming out pretty soon now that everything is all properly set up.
Mish?
No, just the Substack for now. My Twitter, I'm just ignoring it lately. My Substack at Chat of Arabia. Sometimes I write stuff about work there.
Dante?
Subscribe to Kyle's channel. Subscribe to Jack's channel. I think I'm the only one on this panel that doesn't have a channel. Subscribe to all their channels, so that'll make me happy. Thanks, guys.
Hawk?
There you go. Ain't that nice? Thank you, Dante. The friendly panda, just shilling everybody else's stuff. Appreciate it. For myself, just check out the Old Glory Club. We're streaming the debate on Tuesday. So if you want to listen to like 12 guys drink a bunch of beer and just heckle the vice presidential candidates on both sides, come by and listen to us. So it's the only way you can make it through these things. Just 12 guys calling everyone like a bunch of cunts and stuff. So it's fun.
Yeah, and go check out Red Hawk's interview with our mutual friend now, Tommy Salmons, on the Year Zero podcast. Tommy's a really good friend of mine. It was a really, really cool show, and I'm kind of glad I got these two guys together because to me it seemed like a long time overdue. But yeah, it was a really, really cool podcast.
Yeah, it was fun. We had a good conversation.
Yeah, Jack.
So I wrote a new Substack this morning. Women stepping on their own clit. Go check it out. Go check it out. Good one. It's about women talking their way out of a good dick. It happens, boys. We always shame men about stepping on their own dick. It's like, no, man, I've had it before where a woman just wouldn't shut up. And I've heard a recent story from a very good friend of mine about a woman who couldn't shut up about a foursome. All she had to do was not say anything, yet there she went.
The creme de la. This is the creme de la creme of red pill topics, in my opinion.
Nice.
I made it.
Very elite level, very refined analysis.
I thank you for these kind words, Panda. I thank you for these kind words.
Nice. All right,
yelling at them.
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Until next time, take care.
Take care.